Hey Golden, what's up? Kali McCool here. Mr. McCutcheon, Mr. McCool, whatever you want to call me. You inspired me to do this little show of how to cook up a good fish on the barbecue. Since you told me or mentioned in the feed that you haven't done this before, so I'm going to attempt to demonstrate something that I recently discovered. So before I do, I have to, show you what I wear when I get serious in the kitchen or in the barbecue, backyard. I got to put on my flipping and sipping apron and my farmer hat, and then of course I've got to go for the Coors, right? Coors in the can with my Boomer Blake koozie. Then I am ready to do whatever for the cooking. All right. So the first thing I want to show you to do is how to make a seasoning for the fish. It's called Tuscan seasoning, and I'm actually going to put it together one spice at a time, but you can also buy the whole Tuscan seasoning in a bottle. However, there are some things that aren't in that bottle that I'm going to add to my recipe to make it that much more delicious. So without further, let's go and check this out. I'm going to show you what I do to put together the seasoning, then I'll show you the barbecue, what coals I use, and then we'll have a feast. All right, check this out. All right, so the first thing I need to do is just kind of lay out what I have to have in order to make this happen. At the end, I want to have something that looks like that. Doesn't that look just delicious? Now this is Atlantic salmon. So that's what you want to get when you go shopping for your fish, is Atlantic salmon. And you also want to get a cedar plank. And I get the cedar planks from Amazon. And so you want to get that as well. So what I have to put this together is have your bare salmon, right? You're going to have a cedar plank, and I'll show you what to do to actually add a little Coors to the soak method. You'll have to soak this for a couple of hours to get it nice and wet. Then you're going to need a green bell pepper, a red bell pepper. You'll need basil. You'll need sea salt, rosemary, oregano, thyme, garlic powder, fennel seed, coarse ground black pepper, minced garlic, and if you want a little kick to it, pull out some ground California chili pepper. And then you'll need, of course, a mixing bowl. I'm just using this Pyrex cup for that, a tablespoon, and a mixer. All right. So again, I just wanted to share with you the look that I am going for. That last shot had poor lighting, so as you can see, this is what it should look like. If you look up really close, you can see the green bell peppers, and the red bell peppers, and all that wonderful seasoning that comes through the Tuscan formula. So that being said, let's check this out. Now, I also failed to mention one forgotten ingredient that's essential to putting this all together, and that is the Tiki Man Radio app on my smartphone playing my favorite music. You do this, no matter what you cook, it'll always come out good. All right, check this out. All right, so the first thing we're going to grab is basil, and we're going to need 6 tablespoons of it. Okay, 6 tablespoons of basil. So let me get that going. All right, then I'm going to need 3 tablespoons of sea salt flakes. So because I have a grinder, it's going to take me a little while to create 3 tablespoons of this. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then I'll check back with you. All right, so here's my 3rd tablespoon of salt into my little cup. The next thing is 2 tablespoons of dried rosemary. So you want to make sure you have rosemary dried, 2 tablespoons of this. Okay. 1 and 2. And then I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. my oregano. Okay, nice. 2 tablespoons. Okay. 1. You know, you can judge the amount of on your tablespoon, right? It's not calling heapings, but you know, if you want a little extra of one thing or another, then you go for it. The next thing is going to be dried thyme. Dried thyme, and I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of that. 2 tablespoons of thyme. 1, 2. And then I'm going to need 1 tablespoon of powdered garlic. Okay, here's my powdered garlic. And I'm going to need 1 of these, 1 tablespoon. Everything is in tablespoons. Luckily, that makes it a little easier for guys like me. You know, once you start going into, you know, half a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and it's like I get lost into that measuring, and it never really comes out right. So it's good. This is quite an easy recipe to create out of, you know, just your tablespoon. All right, so now I'm going to use fennel seed, okay, the whole seed, fennel seed, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that, okay, like that. 1, 2, and then 2 tablespoons of pepper. I'm using the coarse ground pepper, but really if you want to go for the good stuff, you go and find cracked pepper, like what you would put into your salt grinder. You find a grinder for the black pepper, the whole black pepper seeds, and you go that way, and that really is the way to go. But for now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use my ground up pepper. Make sure it's fresh. Okay, so 2 of those. And then to give it a little kick, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. Oh, this is the only measuring where I'm actually having to use a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. So that's not so bad. So I have to grab myself a teaspoon. And luckily that teaspoon is right behind the tablespoon. So easy if you have a simple set like what I have here. So all I need is a teaspoon of this chili pepper. Give it a little kick there. Okay. Ooh, this is brand new. I must have just got this today. Still have to peel the seal. Okay, now I'm not going to do a heaping. I'm going to keep it kind of sane. And then what I'm going to do, this goes beyond the normal ingredients of this show, but I'm going to actually add a little bit of garlic on this recipe, because if you notice, and I'm noticing it, you look real close, I don't know if you can see this, I see garlic, like whole pieces of garlic all over on that on the top of that fish. So I'm going to add garlic to my recipe. Okay. And actually, I'm going to wait. Until I have the dry ingredients all mixed up first, and then what I'll do is I'm going to I'll chop up the bell peppers, and I only need a little, like half a section of it for each. I'm going to get them all chopped up really fine, and then I'll mix that in with the garlic, and then mix it all together to create this like a wet, pasty season. Okay, so do it that way. Alright, so once I have all my ingredients put together, the dry ingredients, I'm going to put them into a drinking cup. This is going to help me make sure that all the seasonings are equally mixed. So I'm going to cover it just like when you're sitting at the bar. Do a little shaky shake, mix all the salts and the peppers and all those granulated seasons. Make sure that they're well mixed together. And then I'm going to take my bell pepper and I'm going to cut it in a way that doesn't let me keep the seeds. I want to keep this side of the bell pepper so that this will be my the finely cut pepper without the seeds in there. All right, so I'm going to do that for both the red pepper and the green, and I'll only use that bottom half of it. All right. All right, so I'm just getting my bell peppers all cut up. I'm going to be chopping these guys up really nice and small. Sometimes I might think of getting my little magic chopper. That's this thing, and see if I can get this to chop it a little faster. Okay, so I'm going to give it a try. Okay, let's see if this will work. Alright, so I'm finished adding my my garlic, minced garlic, and I chopped up my green pepper and red pepper real fine as I can get them. Okay, and then I kind of give them a nice little mix. Okay, so I'll move the cup out of the way, don't need that anymore. And so I'm going to take my Tuscan seasoning in here. Actually, I can bring that cup back in so you can see the Tuscan seasoning. Nice and well mixed. Alright, so now I'm going to do is I'm going to just add in this Tuscan seasoning. Okay, and then mix it by hand. Alright, so I'm going to bring my plank over. Okay, I'm going to find the smooth side. There's a rough side and then there's a smooth side to the plank. Make sure the smooth side is up towards the fish. You don't want to eat splinters, right? So then I'm going to take my Coors Light, and I would really want to do this before I start mixing up my seasonings, right? Give my board a little chance to absorb some of the beer flavor. And then what I'll do before I actually put the fish on is I'll give it a little spray of oil over the top of the board so that the fish doesn't stick to the board itself, right? Like that. And then I'll grab my flank, my fish flank, okay? Like so. And now is the test. Okay, I'm going to start applying the rub. Okay, if I were to compare, all right, this one's a little darker in color, most likely because it's been sitting in juice and you know, the fish sauce that usually goes that gets trapped inside the wrapping. And this actually kind of gives you an idea that maybe to get it to look like this is to do your seasoning maybe a week in advance. Like when you're done with this, wrap it in wrap, you know, saran wrap, put it in the fridge, and let the juices from your seasoning really soak into the fish, and it'll most likely end up looking more like that at the end of the day. But boy, I don't know. I'm kind of getting hungry just looking at my own seasoning application here. Looking pretty good. And so that's how you get your fish set up, ready for the grill. So now, let's go outside and get our grill started. Alright guys, so welcome to my backyard. Let's go and set up the grill. And so first, you know, make sure you set the grill so it's all clean, right? But here's the secret I'm going to share with you, and it is the coal that you use. Now, you know, I usually use Kingsford, right? That's the go-to for any serious barbecue enthusiast, right? But this time I'm using what's called, let me get this turned around, South American charcoal, 100% natural, from Argentina and Mexico. So I've learned that this coal really makes the fish cook. It's amazing. So I'm gonna get that set up, and then we'll get cooking. So as you can see, South American charcoal, and you'll notice that the coals are quite a little different than your Kingsford. These are my Kingsfords. You know, they're from my last barbecue, but these coals have a little different look and texture, and it's hardwood, so that kind of creates a unique flavor to this whole barbecuing session. So yeah, let's keep going. So as I'll show you here, this is my layout, planks on the grill. You're probably asking, well, why have my planks on the outside? Well, because I'm noticing it's really hot over here. I don't want them to be directly over the hottest part of the grill, right? So I put them off to the sides, and then I close the grill, right? And let them slow cook. I have the vent open full, bottom and top, and I think that's good. I just have to keep a close eye on the cooking, right? How quickly these things will get cooked up. So, like I said, about 10 minutes maybe, they'll be ready to be pulled off. All right, Golden. So let's do a little check on our fish to see how it's going, how it looks. Oh, look at that! Look at that! So you see the brown and how the wood is starting to char a bit around the edges. That's a good sign that it's cooking well, cooking evenly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move them around a little bit more over the coals. All right. Careful, it's hot. I'm just going to get them a little bit into a different position. So I'll rotate the fish a little bit. Okay. But yeah, it's looking really good. And hopefully, I don't know if you can see the difference between this is the store bought and this is mine. I'm starting to really like mine. I don't know. We'll find out when we go to taste, huh? Like I said, I bet you if you mix your ingredients a week in advance, you kind of put them on your fish, kind of what do you call it? Oh, there's a word for it. You let the seasoning kind of soak in before you actually go for the cooking, right? There we go. So now I'm gonna let them cook for maybe another 5 minutes, and should be done by then. Cool. The final test. Check to see how it looks. Oh yeah, that's ready to go. Ready to come off the grill. Perfect. Oh, I like that. So I'm just gonna do a little flake test. Make sure I got a little bit of pink in there, but it flakes, right? That is really, really good. Let's do the same on this one. See if it comes apart. Oh yeah. That, my friends, is a perfectly cooked salmon on the grill with Tuscan seasoning. Alright, I'm going to get these off the grill, and I'm going to go eat. Alright? Take care, Golden. Help this, make sure you want to try this out yourself. Alright, bye.